Good morning, everybody. Arend here from Countryside Acres again. I think mornings have got to be the best part of the day. I love mornings. They're so peaceful, quiet, new day. Hear a few birds chirping. I love mornings. I've always liked getting up early. Maybe that's because I grew up on a dairy farm and getting up early is part of the life, I guess. When we had our dairy goats, we used to milk 300 goats. My wife and I and family for 3-4 years. And I would get up about 5 o'clock every morning. We'd start milking. We milk 3 times a day, so 5 o'clock in the morning and then 12 o'clock roughly, and then I forget, maybe 8 o'clock at night or something like that. So anyway, mornings are beautiful. So today we're going to carry on in the house. We are just about done drywalling upstairs. Didn't quite get done. We had a few distractions the last few days, but hopefully that will be it now, and we can get focused on that. The downstairs, I'm only doing the walls for now. I'm going to get the vapor barrier on and get the walls done, and then we want to insulate the ceiling yet. So that can also be done. So we'll have to start working on that before we can drywall it. If we're drywalling it, I'm not sure yet if we're actually drywalling the ceiling. Anneesa has to make up her mind whether we're drywalling it or going to put something else on the ceiling. I wanted to show you this morning, and it's just one of those little things in life, I guess, that just means so much to very few people, I guess. And that's this ground right here. So this is just regular old dirt here, and there's a bit of sand on it because it was getting kind of muddy, and that's it. Now I've tromped through here a few times, so I've wrecked a lot of it, but you can still see right here. All these little piles are from worms, right? And there's tons of them. And in my opinion, that is a good sign of very good dirt. It's all over the place. And every single morning that I get up, and these tracks, nobody's walked through, every single morning, there's just a pile of these little bumps. You can still see them here. They're all over here. And that's just one little area. Okay, so worms, they take vegetation from the top, decaying vegetation, and they pull it down into the ground with them. They eat it basically, and they bring it down, and they bring manure back up top. So what you're seeing here, this is all castings from worms. That's all fertilizer. If you look close enough, you can even see it looks like poop basically. Now that gets done everywhere, all out through your fields. You just don't notice it. And here it's easy to see because it's sandy. Now why that's good is because that is building topsoil. Unfortunately, that's something that gets forgotten a lot. Maybe because we don't notice the animals doing anything there. I remember when I was a kid, there was a man that came by, and he had a worm picking company. He would pay my dad a little bit of money, and then they would go out in the fields. He'd have a whole team of workers in the middle of the night, and they'd have these headlamps on, and you could see them out in the field bobbing around, and they'd be picking worms, because at the nighttime the worms come up. They pick them, put them in their buckets, and then sell them for bait for fishing, is my assumption. I don't even know what to do with them. I'm pretty sure that's what they were doing. And never thought anything of it. I mean, it's just worms, right? To me, now, in the last number of years, 5-10 years, I say that is a silly thing to do. Why would you sell them? Those are natural fertilizer makers. You know, if anything, you should be buying them in, not selling them. And again, the reason is because they are building your soil. The more worms, the better. There is so many microorganisms. I've said this before on here, but there's so many microorganisms in the ground that you and I cannot see, and they are working. God put them there to take useless organic matter that's just laying here and turn it into topsoil, full of nutrients and fertilizers. So we don't need to buy commercial fertilizers. If we can get the balance right out here in this field and get it growing the way it should, feed those nutrients feed those microorganisms the right things, they will build topsoil all on their own. Now, sometimes they need a little help. They need the earth opened up a bit because it gets too hard. But keep in mind that if you're opening it, you're also wrecking their habitats and destroying a lot of these worms. That's not to say there's no room for tillage. I think sometimes we need to till our ground. I don't think there's anything wrong with that per se, but we over-till sometimes. And every time you do that, if you're cutting worms in half, I mean, that's bye-bye worm, right? So the more that we can work with nature and with these bugs, the less chemical fertilizers we need to dump on, and the healthier everything becomes. So anyway, just a little thing. When I see those little worm casts, I'm like, man, that's really good sign, because there's obviously in that small space, that is a lot. And every single morning it looks like that. They're building topsoil. Here in the field, as you can see, we never did cut the hay. And it just got too late and it's too tough. So what I'm letting it do right now is go to seed. These seeds are all going to fall down. What I would like to do is get a batwing mower is what I call it. It's a big bush hog. Again, that's a brand name. It's a big rotary mower, and in Canada I would often rent one in the spring to clear back the little trees along the edges of the field. And a batwing mower would be about 10 feet wide, I think, maybe a little wider, so 300 centimeters or more wide. And you just run it behind the tractor on the PTO, and I would mow all this, just mulch it down to nothing. So I wouldn't mind finding one. If someone has one that I can rent, that would be great. And I would mow this all down. I wouldn't take the feet off. I would just mow it and leave it there, because that helps build topsoil. It gives these organisms lots to eat. They'll chew it all up, and next year we'll have a healthier soil and more grass. That would be ideal. Leaving it here, when it's standing up, obviously they can't eat it, so it needs to kind of get crushed. And if I can't find one, I mean, once I have some time, I will weld one, but there's only so many hours in a day. Lots to do, and I don't always have time for all of it, but we will get there, all in due time. I guess another reason I like mornings is it's quiet. It's a good time to reflect, a good time to pray, talk to God, which is actually the same thing. A lot of times I think we think prayer is something different. Just having communication with God is prayer, talking to Him. It doesn't have to be a special thing. It's something that the Bible actually says we should be doing without ceasing, always. So always being in communication with God. Now it's hard how many times we go through life and forget about God. But that's the goal, is to be constantly communicating with Him. And therefore it doesn't have to be something that you do, at a specific time of day. Although I think that's good as well. But I find my mornings are the quietest time of the day. And I think that's one reason I always enjoyed it. That, and there's just so much beauty. Just stare out here and just think, how great is God. It's phenomenal out here. Never gets old. It's also just a time to reflect, think about things, think about the day, think about what I need to get done, or what I got done, or what needs to be done differently. And of course, my good friend, the coffee. Can't forget that. Nice coffee, Countryside Acres mug full of coffee. I like to drink that too. So, if you're a sleeper in person, I don't think that even makes sense. But try to get up early. Enjoy a little bit of the morning. It's beautiful. Are you helping get the groceries?
Yeah.
You are a strong guy. Look at that. That thing's almost as big as you. How come you're helping? You like to?
Yeah.
You're strong. Our good friend Andre came by. He just came back from a holiday, little trip to Europe, and in the process he went to the Netherlands. And so he sent me a picture of the Netherlands while he was there, and I was like, oh man, you're making me jealous. I haven't been since I was 16. So I was born in the Netherlands, but I have not been there since 16 was the last time. So it was many, many years ago. I've often desired to go back, but it just costs so much, and we just haven't been able to afford to do it. And so I've often said too that one day I would like to take my wife to the Netherlands and show her around. If possible, I'd love to take the children as well, but of course that would cost a lot more. And so still in the future, one day. So while he was in Amsterdam, I couldn't be there, but he decided to bring Amsterdam to us. I don't know if you can see that. Beautiful oven mitts. So I thought that was pretty cool. Nice little gift. We appreciate him very much and all his help and everything that he's done for us. He also brought us some t-shirts that he had made See if I can turn that around. Official merch. It's very nice. So maybe we'll throw it on the screen here. You can find their YouTube channel, his YouTube channel as well, on just all about tractor stuff, Belarus stuff, mostly. Anyway, like I said, we really appreciate all his help. He's been just a world of help, insight, information, and also just a good friend. It's not all about business. I feel that we've made a very good friendship, and we really appreciate it. So if you're watching, Andre, thank you very much for everything that you do. Are you still working hard?
Yeah.
How many trips have you taken? Papa better help, eh?
No.
No, you don't want me to help?
No.
You're gonna do it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Another life lesson, parenting lesson maybe for today. Instead of waiting till your kids are 18 or 20 and then paying $50,000-$60,000 for a college education so that your kid can try to explore things and figure out what they want to do with the rest of their life, why not let them explore things now? Right now, to the casual observer, right? See, this kid's mucking around, making a mess, doing nothing useful. But to the parental eye, I'm saying, you know what? He's learning a whole lot here about physics and engineering as he's trying to catch drips and run them through this hose. Now he's switched on to something else, but
he's filled the hose.
Let them experiment. Let them play with things. Let them have fun. Let them build. Let them use tools. Let them use their talents, explore, grow. And they will eventually, you'll be able to see where their strengths are, and then you can kind of gently prod them in those directions and say, hey, you know what, you're really good at this thing or at that thing. And by the time they're 18 or 20, they will be successful at life. Rather than confused, going to college for 10, 20 years, being a drain on society, they will already know what they want to do. They'll be confident human beings, and then if you want to send them to college, they will be going there with skills and with a drive and a determination to be better at a certain skill that they already possess, rather than trying to find out what their skills are.
Man, I always had stories about the city life and the crazy nights. Figure I should probably give it a try. Maybe check it out, see what it's all about. But the traffic was fast and the money was slow. The people I met you never get to know. I kinda miss this place I used to live back home. Cause up here it's breakneck, paycheck, rat race, what's next? I'm tired of feeling like a small fish in a big pond. I think I'll go back where I came from, where everybody knows my name. My friends are still the same. I guess the slow life hit me just right, like a bonfire on a cold night. Hell, and you can keep your 9 to 5, happy with the simple life. Yeah, I ain't here to try to change your mind, I'm trying to save your time, in case you're thinking about breaking out the bucket list. Girl, you can skip this funny business, cause up there it's complicated. is understated. That's alright by me. I got everything that I need, but there is breakneck, paycheck, rat race. What's next? I'm tired of feeling like a small fish in a big pond. I think I'll go back where I came from, where everybody knows my name. All my friends are still the same. I guess the slow life hit me just right, like a bonfire on a cool night. Yeah, you can keep your 9 to 5, 'cause I'm happy with the simple life. Tired of feeling like a small fish in a big pond. I think I'll go back where I came from, where everybody knew my name, and all my friends are still the same. I guess the slow life hit me just right, like a bonfire on a cold night. Hell, you can keep your 9 to 5, 'cause I'm happy with the simple life.